Ready or Not has always been that game for tactical shooter fans who want more than just sprinting and gunning. It's gritty, it's slow, and it rewards thinking like a real SWAT officer. But in 2025, the game finds itself caught between two very different worlds. On one side, the PC crowd that wants all the intensity and edge it was known for. And on the other, a shiny new console audience looking to jump in with controllers and probably a little less blood. So, is Ready or Not still worth playing in 2025? If you're looking for another run-and-gun shooter where you can hop around like a caffeinated rabbit, this ain't it. Ready or Not sticks to its slow-paced, methodical gameplay. Every step matters. Every room needs to be cleared like it could explode at any second. And every suspect could either be a confused civilian or someone ready to light you up the second you hesitate. The tension? Still top tier. You'll find yourself holding your breath while opening a door, praying it's not booby-trapped, or hiding someone with a shotgun. Missions are genuinely stressful, in the best way possible, like being in a cop thriller where you're actually the lead, not just watching from the couch. Enemy AI continues to be a mixed bag. Suspects sometimes surrender realistically, other times they act like they've taken inspiration from action movies and go full Rambo, even when they're cornered with no escape. Civilians? They're still panicky little chaos goblins, running around the moment you shout hands up like it's a cue to sprint into a wall or trip over a table. But overall, AI behavior is improving slowly, and some of the mission variety forces you to stay sharp. You can't just memorize layouts and call it a day. One area where Ready or Not shines is weapon handling. Guns carry real weight and impact, and recoil is unforgiving if you treat them like toys. You'll need to commit to your weapon choice. Picking a shotgun over a rifle can totally change how you move and engage. The gear system is also deep. Want to load up with flashbangs, mirror guns, and heavy armor? Sure. Just remember you'll move like a tank. Or, if you prefer agility, drop the armor, but don't complain when a single shot ruins your day. Now here's where things get messy, and not the fun, blood-on-the-wall kind of messy. With Ready or Not finally making its console debut, some changes were made to meet platform content standards. These include toning down some violence, removing nudity from certain hostage situations, and making some of the more disturbing scenarios less graphic. This didn't go over well with a chunk of the PC community. The reaction? Swift and loud. Steam reviews dropped from positive to mixed within days. Some longtime players felt betrayed, arguing the game was losing its identity and getting watered down to be console-friendly. Others argued the changes are minimal and don't affect the core tactical gameplay. So it really depends on where you stand. If you're someone who plays for the challenge and strategy, you may not even notice the edits. But if you're here for the ultra-gritty realism, yeah, some of that edge has been filed down. Visually, Ready or Not still holds its own in 2025. Lighting plays a huge role in setting the mood, especially in hostage rescue missions or night ops. Flashlights cutting through darkness? Still creepy. Blood splatters and bullet impacts? Still punchy. Audio is where the game shines even more. Gunshots echo realistically, radios crackle with tension, and every footstep makes you nervous. The sound design practically demands a good headset. You'll miss half the experience otherwise. Performance has improved since early access days, but Ready or Not still has its moments of jank. Occasional bugs, animation hiccups, or frame drops might pop up, especially on older rigs. On consoles, early feedback points to solid performance, though not without the usual growing pains of new platform ports. The devs seem committed to optimization, so it's better than it used to be, but don't expect perfection. This game likes to remind you it's still wearing a few indie game shoes. Multiplayer is where the game comes alive, or falls apart, depending on your squad. When you have a solid team that communicates, moves in sync, and doesn't accidentally flashbang themselves, it's incredible, like peak tactical shooter vibes. But if you jump into a public match with randoms who treat the game like Call of Duty, you're in for chaos. It's very much a cooperation required experience, and not everyone reads the manual. The PC community is still active, despite the review bombing. Mods remain a strong point, offering everything from new maps to custom weapons and real-life police departments. If you want to replace your default loadout with real-world SWAT gear from a specific country, someone probably made it already. Console players won't have that luxury, at least not yet, so if you love modding, PC is still the king here. So let's get down to the big question. Is Ready or Not still worth your time in 2025? If you enjoy tactical shooters that require patience, planning, and actual teamwork, this game still delivers some of the most intense and rewarding gameplay in the genre. The tension is real, the missions are diverse, and the gunplay feels better than ever. The tension hits hard, the missions are diverse, and the gunplay is smoother and more refined than ever. But be aware, if you're on PC, you might notice the changes made to keep things console-friendly. Whether that ruins the experience or just feels like a slight detour depends on how invested you are in the game's original tone. So yeah, Ready or Not may be wearing a cleaner uniform now, but it's still ready to breach the door and throw you into some seriously high-stakes action. Just remember to check your corners, always.